Hey guys, it's that time of year again. Christmas is coming up, and last year I actually created a pretty fancy Christmas tree, and I think it was decent enough that it actually fooled Fallon, because she actually asked me, "Where did this item come from? Where did you get it?" And I told her, "Well, I made it." And a lot of people were pretty impressed with it. So I figured, I might as well do a tutorial on how to create a pretty realistic looking Christmas tree as possible. So we're going to go back into my storage room in the Massive Fantasy Palace. This is where I place all my items if I'm not using them. So you can see all these random objects around the house, and you're going to see a lot more. And I'm just going to collect all these items and basically show you how to recreate your own Christmas tree. Now, it'll take a lot of materials, so be sure you have enough money for crates and all these different items, and it might be hard to find some certain items. For example, a ball of blue yarn, because that is being used for gardening. There might be a chance that it would be hard to find at the bazaar. So, um, it's again, you don't really have to use balls of yarn for ornaments or anything. You can use other objects. And I was thinking maybe we could even use pets, but I'm going to go ahead and stick to ornaments to show what you can do to create varying height, so it doesn't so it doesn't look like a ring of ornaments, but rather it looks like it's been placed on the tree randomly. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to pick up my tree right here. All, the, all these crates I'll need. And then we'll pick up the rest of the decorations if it can fit in my backpack. And apparently all these decorations are taking up space in my house. As you can see, these are from previous versions of the castle. And here are the Christmas ornaments that I have. This crystal ball I put out the top, but I think I'll use a pet, like a starfish this time, now that they exist and can be placed in the game. So I'm going to pick up various items here. Little items that you want to put on the tree is what you'll have to search for first. And then I have some candles here to give it a little glow. Okay, so you have your tree and your ornaments or whatever items you want to put on the tree. Next, you'll need a couple of chessboards. I would recommend at least 5 or 6. Just in case, you never know. You can never have too many chessboards, and a bunch of crates. You can never know how. You can never have too many crates. All right. So we're gonna dive into the basics of floating again in this tutorial. So if you guys already know how to do a lot of this, how to do a lot of the floating glitches, please be patient with this, or you can skip ahead of it to further part in the video. But I like to go over the basics just in case there are those that that don't know how to float, who would love to do this. That way they can learn. So gonna pick up my ornaments here. Crates, go for the crates that don't have chickens popping out of the top. So crate of hot dogs would be fine, jelly beans, pumpkins. Whatever crates can stack upon each other is what you'll need. So we're going to jump out here and decorate in the same place that I placed it last time. We have a carousel in the way, and I placed this here so then it would prevent visitors from entering my storage room, because I'm not proud of the inside. It's just a big mess, as you can see. So anyways, what we're going to do here is first we have to calculate, and it doesn't really take all that much math really. It's all about visualization. But we're going to pick out a spot here that looks great for a tree. We don't want it too close to the wall, because then it would be hard to decorate it from this angle. As you can see, it would be hard to see the tree from here as the camera presses up. So the same thing with here, we don't want it too close when we want to start decorating. So we got to pick a place where we can see the tree at least from a lot of angles without it colliding into too many objects. So this looks okay. The reason why I first decorated in the Massive Fantasy Palace is because of height and platforms. So towards the end of this video, I'll go ahead and show how you would make platforms around your tree. But for now, just for a quick reference, I use this Massive Fantasy Palace so that I have the house to use for itself if I need to change my height. So if I need to place ornaments at different angles, or as I move further and further, as you can see up here, it's harder to see it's harder to decorate items down here, especially towards the back. So that's why I need a little elevation on this level as well. I can go towards the ground. Now if I'm towards the ground and my menu, my housing menu is open, it's much harder to decorate towards the top. And that's why you need varying heights for whatever tree size you have. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and move this a little bit to the left. You want to select your permanent placement, because when you start to float your ornaments, they're going to be stuck there. I mean, if you move the tree itself, it's not going to move every single item with it. So you need to choose your a perfect spot for it, if you can. So I'm going to go ahead and choose this and say OK. Alright, so now what do we need to do? Well, I'm going to say let's decorate from top down. Or you know what, we can even decorate bottom up. Yeah, let's do bottom up, since it would result in fewer mistakes. Alright, so how do we get items up on this tree? Well, we can't place them up here, so we're going to have to float them. So here's my little method of floating. I mean, there's a lot of other ways that you can do this, but this is just my preferred method. And another reason why I like this house, I can climb up here, and here's a fresh patch of land that I can place objects upon, wherever it lets me. So nice clean space, unlike down there where it's all crowded. What I'll do is I want to get a chessboard placed down right there, and to get it to float on certain items, you're gonna need rugs. You're gonna need small rugs. So a lot of people use the tatami mats that you can find in the bazaar. I like to use the small purple rugs. So I'm gonna place the rug down here. I'm gonna pick up the chessboard. I'm gonna try to get it to overlap without overlapping too much on the rug. You just want it on the very edge if possible. There you go. So what I did was I placed the chessboard right on top of the rug, and then how I know it'll float or how it's attached is that I'll pick up this rug right here, click on it, and then move it, and there you have it. And then you can rotate it, change the angles if you like. So now I'll explain a little bit more why you need this on a rug, and it's so you can raise the elevation or change the height of this chessboard. For example, if I tried to place this chessboard down right here using the small purple rug, we're not going to decorate anywhere on the leaves itself. We'll decorate around the bark, which is great. Maybe we can put some toy trains here once that is settled, but we're going to go ahead and just start with ornaments just as a basic tutorial. So I'm going to leave that here. Now what you'll need are 2 crates to help change the height. With 1 crate, if we use just 1 crate, this rug will not be able to fit on top of that, as you can see. But if you move it to 2 crates that are adjacent to each other, you can then place it on top. As you can see, there are 2 possible placements for my chessboard right here. It can be either on both boxes with a little empty space on the second crate, the crate that's closest to me, or I can place it in so it covers both boxes. Now you don't want to do this. You want to put the rug on just to cover 1 crate entirely. Leave the other crate with just a little bit of rug on top of it, but not too much. And I'll explain a little bit why after we get the first one up. So it's gonna set this one up. All right. Now what you're gonna do after you have it set up like this, where the crate closest to you is not entirely covered, you're gonna pick up the crate that is entirely covered. So make sure it's highlighted, move it, and then set it up on the other crate. Because now you've got this little piece. So what's going on here mechanically is you've attached the chessboard onto the rug, and then you picked up the entire combination by the rug itself. Now the reason for that is because anything you click on, anything that you highlight and select, that's your focus item. Anything above your focus item should be removed if it happens to overlap or if it's directly above it, which is why it's a little bit easier to decorate from bottom up than decorating from top down, because then you'll have floating ornaments above your platform that might get taken away if you happen to make a mistake or so. So what had happened is that I've now, when I was back in this form where the rug is over both crates, is that well, the rug, we just sat on top of the crates. The reason why the chessboard was able to be lifted was because it was above this rug, and because the game does not realize that I have the chessboard selected. So it just picked up the rug by itself and anything above it, which in this case is a chessboard, and I'm able to place it on top of the crates here because this is a tangible spot for the rug. Now I was able to reapply that same pattern, whereas I click on my focus item, which is the crate this time, and it picks up both the rug and the chessboard because they're both items above that focus item. And I was able to place it on a tangible spot, which is another crate. So if you understand that, great. You know, you should be able to perform some advanced moves later on with some floating. The reason why we didn't want it covering both crates was because, let me see. Well, actually, it could cover both crates. I stand corrected by myself. Let's see. Here we go. Now if I place that on both, if I click on the crate that's directly under the chessboard, yeah, I can do the same thing. I can place this other item on top. So it doesn't really matter how you do it. So as you can see here, I can then place another, I can raise the height a little bit further. So this helps with decorating your tree a bit, but as you can see, it's a little off balance. It's not even. It's not directly centered or aligned with this other chessboard, because the rug that I placed down on the second chessboard is not in the direct center of the second chessboard. The first, however, is a little bit more centered. It's not perfect, so that's why they're a little misaligned. So anyways, we'll just go ahead and stick with one for now. So I've got this dual crate. I've adjusted the height, and it's getting there. I'm going to place the crates down on the mosaic ground here. Okay. Let's see. Yay! So the chessboard does touch the very tip of the leaves, which we can put some items here. Shouldn't be a problem. So what we're going to do here is adjust the chessboard. So as you can see, this is the reason why I'm using the crates, so that I can reach as many tangible spots as possible that the chessboard would not originally have touched upon. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is just maybe place a candle right against the leaves here. I remember making this last year, and I was thinking to myself, I want to make this as realistic as possible. I don't want to put the candle inside of the tree. That could result in some burning if that actually happened. So I'm trying to adjust for it to get it at perfect angles. And as you can see, it looked great from this angle, but when you place the candle down, it might have a gap on it, gap between the tree and the and your floating object. So there we go, 2 candles right on the edges. We might as well put maybe some of the green ornaments here. Okay, so we've got that. Now I'm going to move the chessboard around a bit so I can get it at different angles. As you notice, based upon the placement of the candles, it seemed to like specific parts of the chessboard, mainly in the center of each square. So if you want to get it at tricky angles, you're going to have to move it around a little bit just to be able to catch upon every vertex that you want to touch upon this tree. So I'll just give it a system that's going to be this this wide in between each candle. As you can see, I'm only picking up the very bottom crate because based upon that rule that I explained earlier, it'll pick up everything that's technically above it. So that's how I'm able to move this entire contraption. Okay. So now I'm using a diagonal angle. And when you switch to a diagonal, as you can see, the candle is no longer in the center of each square. It has a different kind of a layout or a blueprint. So when you're twisting and turning your items, you got to be careful with that. Let's see. Not everything will be centered as, perfectly as you like. That's fine. Okay, getting a little bit further in here. Okay. Because I used up all my candles, so I'm gonna have to go back inside for a little bit more. So what I do is I floated this carousel right here, and then all I have to do to get inside is I click on it, rotate it with my mouse wheel once, or I can use any of these arrows. And this is now just for the owner of the house, I can pass through. So that'll take me in here. I can collect the rest of my candles as I go. I'm gonna pick up some of these ornaments too. Why not? Alright, back outside, and I'll repeat that same process with the carousel. I just have to open the housing menu, click on the item itself, give it a little twist, and then I'm out. Okay. So, back to this. Now you want to be careful not put your crates or any item, any focus item below any of your ornaments, otherwise you will end up picking them up again based upon those rules. Okay, give it a little kick right here. Alright, great. Now this is this is a pretty basic decoration right here. Pretty structured, and as you can see, it's a little off. But for the sake of the tutorial, I'm going to go ahead and speed through it. So it'll look kind of sloppy right now, but if you put some time into it, put maybe 20 minutes a day into creating this, you might have a really great looking Christmas tree by the end, before Christmas comes. Now one item that I do not have with me right now, let me check in here just in case. I don't have any checker pieces. Now checker pieces are great items to use, so I'm going to quit out of here and then jump into the bazaar. What I can do with the checker pieces is place items such as the candle or even the balls of yarn on top of the checker pieces and kind of adjust the height little by little. So instead of using crates to adjust my height, I can also use checker pieces to also do the same thing. for smaller objects. So let me see if I can find some checker pieces in here. I think it's black checker piece or something. I guess there's not a lot being sold anywhere. As you can see, there's only 6 balls of green yarn in here. So, la la la. I know there's a place that we can visit for that, but just for time's sake, we might as well just continue with the tutorial, and I'll show that maybe in another video, how to adjust the height of smaller objects. So we're going to return back here. And we'll figure out how to do that a little bit later. Okay, so now we want to build it up a little bit further. So what we'll need to do, and it's very simple. Oops. Make sure everything's out of the way. What I'm going to do is just add one more crate, which is why I said you cannot have enough crates and cannot have enough chessboards in case you need to adjust. And here we go, another level of items. So this time I'm going to build it closer and closer to the tree, so actually the candles down at the bottom are going to be a lot further than the candles at the bottom. So let's see. There we go. Nice perimeter. But with the checker pieces, you can, for example, it looks like it's a straight ring around the bottom of the tree, but actually I can have it kind of undulate, so it looks more realistic. It looks like it's a random placement of candles and not like a set format. So all you have to do is just build that higher and higher, add a crate each time. And as you get closer to the top, you'll want to start using some of your house if it manages to change height. And what you can do is go to the very, very top and then add an ornament up there. So hopefully this helps out. And so now I'll show you how to build a tree outside. Let's say that you don't have any of these platforms. Let's say I want to build the tree way out here. What do I have to do to get it out there? As you can see, as I move the tree, none of the ornaments move, that's fine. I mean, I'm gonna remove them anyway and redo it later for a more formal tree. Oops, this one didn't get taken. So glitches like this happen sometimes, so you gotta expect it. Nope. Yeah, I'm just gonna pick up the rug. There we go. Got the chessboard. So that's kind of how you do the floating trick for some candles too. So anyways, let's go out here and float some, or create a tree with when you don't have any elevation around you, when you don't have any heights. Like say if you want to create an open field, you're going to have to make your own platforms, and again that's why I said there's no such thing as too many chessboards. So what I can do here is, using the same trick that I've created to make this little contraption, I have to make I can just make another one that's taller than this. Now the reason why I would suggest to have a lot of chessboards and a lot of crates is because the higher and higher you get with this, you can decorate items, but you're not able to see from that angle. As you can see, there's a limit to how high you have to be, or yeah, there's a limit to how high the crates can be before you can hop on it again. So it's about 3 crates is about the maximum. So here's 2 crates, here's 3 crates. As you can see, it's already a little bit difficult to hop on here without the aid of this rug, at least from the back, which is why I said that it's better just to have some extra space back here. So you can hop on here onto the chessboard. So you need multiple platforms to do this. Or let me show you a really cool trick. Let's say that you're on a budget in Wizard 101, and you want all you have enough for are just for 2 chessboards, 4 crates, and 2 rugs. You can still do this. You can let me see. You can still decorate at the very top of the tree with just those items. So let me create another chessboard right here, another platform. Okay. I'm going to keep it at just 2 crates high each. Okay. Oops. So here we go, floating. Alright, so how do we get to the top of the tree using just this many? Well, we can already stack these on top of each other, of course. Okay, but that's not, that's not exactly the top yet. You can't really see everything up here, right? So, hop up, whoops, got stuck. Okay. Climb up here on my second platform. I'm going to turn around. I'm going to look for the lowest crate in this entire combination. I want to highlight it, move it onto here. I'm going to give it a little twist right here so it bends at a 90-degree angle. Reason for that is so then I can peek back here and look at the crate below it. Otherwise, if they're facing facing the same direction, it might be a little bit harder to reach and grab. So here we go, getting closer and closer to the top of the tree. Okay. Place another item right here. So this is kind of how you would make your platforms outside or far away from the tree. You don't want to put it too close to the tree. That way you can put other chessboards here for decorating. So by that, let me show you what I mean. I'm going to choose the bottom crate. I'm going to get down here safely and make sure I can select all my items before they're out of range. Okay, here we go. So, if I were to decorate the tree out here, I would have to create a crate right here just for visual purposes. Now, you don't have to use just the chessboards, but I just find these squares as really good references to where to put your objects. As for creating platforms so you can climb up higher and higher, maybe you can use the square metal platforms. Those have an extra height to it though. As you can see, hopping up and down like this, a little bit taller. So when you're using crates, sometimes your field of vision might be a little off compared to the chessboards. Chessboards don't really have all that much height. So if you hop on it, you don't really get any elevation, as you can see. So this is a little bit flatter, so this is why I use the chessboards more often. But square metal platforms are a-okay too. So I would make the platform right here, create another platform like this to create around decorate around the tree. And as I need to move higher and higher, let me use another example right here. See. Start around here. So then I can do this. And then you would have to, of course, do the same for this item right here. You can't just place... Oh, look at that. That's a little glitchy. Well, this is like shadow floating all over again. As you can see, I'm able to raise this chessboard without... Oops. Guess you have to be close for that glitch. But what had happened was that I created a shadow platform. So if you notice the height right here, it's just right below the leaves of the tree, and the crates are touching the ground. Now if I move the crates themselves, for some reason I'm able to adjust their height above the tree, and that's just based off of another, it's an advanced glitch for floating, which you can check out in some of my arena designs. It shows what that shadow floating means, but I guess you can do that here too. So if you want to create just, you know, if you don't have enough money for as many chessboards as you like, you can use just these items right here for adjusting your height, and then actually buy a bunch of different crates for this. That's all you need for this tree. And if you need to move around the perimeter towards the bottom, you just have to move the crates around. But as you get closer and closer to the top, here's the cool part. Because it is in a conical shape, or shaped like a cone, the higher and higher you get on the tree, you don't need to move it around as much. It starts to close in towards the center, so you technically just have to add another crate each time, and just use these two to adjust your height and to move around the tree. So that is how you would create your own Christmas tree. So once I find those checkers, I'm going to go ahead and create another video, add it on, and add an annotation so you can link from this video over to the other one, so you can see what I mean by, so you can do advanced Christmas tree designs and whatnot. So anyways, thanks for checking this out. Hope this helps out a lot, and have a happy holidays, guys. So see you in the spiral. Peace.